Hi, my name's Lee Matthews and I'm a physiotherapist, and this is Pilates Rehab Relax. Don't forget to click like and subscribe for all of our latest content. So I'm going to guide you through some gentle stretches for your back that you can do in standing. There'll also be another video that I make of doing them in seated and laying, so if you prefer to do it in those positions, then have a look at those and I'll make sure it's linked. So in standing, we're going to start off by doing a gentle warm-up, and also we'll combine that with a little bit of lumbar rotation, so our low back rotation. And I'm going to do that by just swaying from side to side. So my hips are staying relatively still and I'm swinging those shoulders and those arms around, and I'll admit it does look a lot like flossing. Okay, so we'll do this for about 10 seconds or thereabouts. There we go. And for the next movement we're going to do is one of a side bend. So if you imagine you're caught between two panes of glass almost, we're going to slide our hand down the thigh on one side. And with all of these stretches, just try and relax into them. Don't forget to breathe, and move to the soft edge of that stretch. So move to a comfortable position. Hold for about 10 or thereabouts. And then back up again to the start position. And whatever we do on one side, we do on the other. Now, nobody is perfectly symmetrical, so I wouldn't be surprised if you find that with certain of these stretches that you can go much further on one side than the other, and that's fine. Sometimes it can be because of habits and behaviour. Sometimes even pain can make us tighter on one side than the other. So you move to the full available range to you. And that might be the first one you do is quite a small one, and then you actually go further the second time. So again, you work to your limitations. You're the boss with this. There we go. Well, the next movement we're going to do is a knee hug. So what I'm going to do for this one, I'm going to pop my foot up onto a chair. It could be a step or anything around you at home. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to curl in towards that knee there. So if you feel a bit wobbly, you might choose to do this in seated instead, or you can hold onto the back of the chair. And again, the same on the other side. So I'll bring my leg up onto the chair, and then I'm going to curl down, bring my chest in towards that thigh, and feel the stretch. So when I do the second one on the original leg, I'm going to actually make it a little bit more challenging. There's a variation on this. So I bring my chest in towards my thigh there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually rotate round slightly. So my shoulder is now coming in towards that knee. The opposite shoulder is rotated in towards the knee. And it's a really big glute stretch there. So you can really feel that around this area here. So if you've got tight muscles around there, you'll definitely feel it more on one side. And then the same on the other side again. So I bring my leg up onto the chair, I'm bringing my chest in towards my thigh there, and I'm going to rotate the opposite shoulder in towards that knee. So there we go. And relax again. Great. So the next movement we're going to do with our back is leaning backwards. So again, move with what's comfortable for you. Some people really like this movement. If it's really irritable, then don't force into it too much. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to stand nice and close into a chair. I want the movement to come from the low back area, not from the knees. So my knees stay relatively straight, and I'm going to lean backwards and hold that for a few seconds. And then relax again. And the same again. So again, if you sat in a chair all day in a quite a flex position, having the stretch backwards can be a useful stretch to do. And relax again. That's good. Again, sometimes with pain we avoid movements, and that can include bending forwards as well. And the trouble is with time, adaptively, that gets tighter and tighter. The muscles can get quite weak with that as well. So we're going to do a gentle stretch bending forward. So I'm going to bend at the knees, and I'm going to curl forwards and hang there. Just feel that stretch for a few seconds. So Sometimes people even sway back and forwards in this position. And then engage those tummy muscles and bring yourself back upright again. And we do that again. So again, I just bend from the knees, curling forwards, and I let myself hang there for a few seconds. And then again, drawing that tummy button in, engaging those tummy muscles, and bring yourself back up to the start position again. We're going to move on to doing some stretches for the leg muscles now. So I'm going to hold onto the back of the chair for this one, because what I want to do is stretch my calf muscles. So my feet are going to remain parallel. I step backwards with one of my legs. The front leg bends at the knee. The back heel and the back knee remain straight throughout this one. So again, I don't bounce. Hold for about 10 seconds, I'd say. And then again, whatever we've done on one side, we'll repeat on the other. So swapping over, and the same again. So if you're in a hurry, you might only do one on each side, or you might only hold it for a few seconds. And I'd always prefer you did some stretching than none at all. But ideally, do them in a place that bookends your day. Try and find the time to do them if you can on a regular basis. And even on a bad day, they can be useful because sometimes muscles and joints can get quite stiff there. But it might just be that if you're having a bad day and you're a bit sore, that you just do less movement there. You might only go half as far or even a quarter as far. But by moving, it will help to ease any flare up of your pain and get you moving a bit sooner. That's good. So we're going to move on to stretching the muscle on the back of our thigh now. That's the muscle called the hamstrings. And the way I'm going to go about stretching that, I'm going to hold onto the chair. I step forwards with the leg I'm going to stretch. That leg is going to stay straight at the knee, but the other one is slightly bent there. And what I'm doing, I'm turning around slightly so you can see, I'm bowing forwards from the hip, but my back remains nice and straight throughout. And you could either have some support in front of you, or it might be you have a chair beside you even. But again, I hold that stretch for about 10 seconds. And then the same on the other side. So again, I step forwards, I keep that front leg nice and straight, but the back knee's bent slightly, and either have some support in front of you or beside you. Now we can make that harder by lifting the toes up towards the ceiling slightly. And again, the same on the other side. So one leg in front of you, and we bow forwards, keeping the back nice and straight throughout there. And relax again. Well, we've got one last stretch to do, and that's for the muscle on the front of the thigh. These can get quite tight, particularly if we're sat down for much of the day. So in standing, if we do a stretch, we want to be bringing our leg up behind us. There's different ways of achieving that. Probably the easiest way is either catching a hold of your ankle. If you found that's a bit too much of a challenge, you might even just hold onto a trouser leg there. But throughout the stretch, my hips remain forwards. I don't want to overarch from the back, so I keep my back nice and straight through this. And you keep the knees so they're in line with one another. There we go. And the same on the opposite side. So again, if you found this was hard to get your leg up that high, you could even pop a belt or a scarf around your ankle. If your balance isn't very good, I'd definitely advise to do this in another position, maybe in seated or in laying. And the other way that we can achieve this stretch is if you put your leg up onto a chair behind you while you're holding onto a table or some bit of furniture. So again, I've got my leg out on the chair behind me. Again, I can add a stretch by tilting the hips forwards and going up onto the toe there. So any of those positions. The key thing with the stretch is you just need to feel it in the appropriate muscle group though. So if you can feel a bit of tension on the front of your thigh, then you know you're in the right position there. And then one last one on that side. And then relax. And that's it, guys. So if you found them great, then that's fantastic. If you prefer to do them in seated or laying, have a look on the links that I'll pop up after this video. So thanks for watching. Take care, guys.